Good day, ma'am. I am Mary Chris M. Susuban, and this is my final exam in Lea 3. So, first question: what are the purpose, qualities, and parts of an investigation report? First is to define what is an investigation report. So, it is a written document in which the investigator records the activity in investigation and the evidences gathered. So what are the purpose of an investigation report? First is to provide a permanent official record of the investigation. Second is to provide other investigators with information relevant to further advance the investigation. And lastly is to uphold the statements as facts in which the designated authorities may base a criminal, corrective, or disciplinary actions. What are the qualities of an investigation report? So, first is the report serves as an objective statement of the investigation findings. Second is the report is an official record of the information relevant to the investigation in which the investigator submit to his superior. The report is clear, brief, accurate, impartial, but complete. The report is sent to the investigator's opinion or other irrelevant facts foreign to the case. The report is accurate and is a true representation of facts of the case. And the report is clear and logically and chronologically developed. So what are the parts of an investigation report? So first is it contains the following components: the administrative data that includes the date, the file number, the subject, complaint, the report investigator, the office of origin, status, and distribution. Second is the synopsis. It is a brief description of actions of the perpetrator as established in the body of the report. Third is the details of the report, meaning the objective of the investigation. Fourth is the conclusions and recommendations, meaning it includes the investigator's opinion, also the conclusions and recommendations. And lastly is enclosure, which includes the photographs, the sketches, the sworn statements, and etc. Second question is, what is the science of psychology behind the interrogation? So first is, human beings are tend to be talkative, especially after a harrowing experience. Second is, human beings tend to be defensive when confronted with superior authority. Third is, people tend to nationalize acts when they feel guilty about. People in tight situations tend to unable to apply or remember lessons they have been taught, especially regarding in security. Human beings normally do not wish to antagonize those who have more power over them, and therefore are tempted to be cooperative to those in control. Human beings tend to attach less importance to what they think is their exclusive knowledge when someone else demonstrate that he too possesses that great portion of that knowledge. People tend to like being exonerated from guilt. People are inclined to respond to kindness and understanding, especially in dire situations, and they resent having something they respect belittled, especially by someone they dislike. Third question: What is what are the steps in interrogating suspected individuals? So there are two aspects. First is physical aspects, and second is the mental aspects. First, we tackle the physical aspects. The ideal interrogation room should be exclusive. The the room should be well lighted. The room should be furnished with chairs, rugs, and shades made of plain materials. Um, the walls should be painted with neutral shade, the walls and ceilings. And there should be nothing in the room that would distract the attention of the working condition. No telephone should be inside. There should the room should be provided with sound sound recording devices in good working condition. And lastly is um, no interruption should be made during the interrogation. In mental aspects, the interrogator must be familiar with all the aspects of the investigation. Um, he must he must never be on defensive for lack of knowledge of the case. He must take advantage of the slips made by the suspects. Um, the interrogator must must check all the appropriate files or records. He should be able to determine what he knows, what he should be, what he knows, what he must find out, and what the suspects can tell. And the he must familiarize the techniques to he must familiarize the techniques intending to the suspects to be able to obtain the information. Last question is, what are the different interrogating schemes? So first is the direct approach. It is where the suspects can are allowed to speak or talk freely. Second is the emotional approach, where to discover a type of emotion to be able to um, obtain an admission. Next is the trickery, where the suspect is played against the other. One suspect is played against the other. Next is the location trick, where to mention a false episode. Next is um, trickery, the location, and next is kindness, revenge, hate and revenge, where giving a clever hint referring to a double cross or admission of double cross or confession of a accomplice. Next is national pride, where making an appeal on nationalism or love of country. Next is kindness and sympathy, where let the suspects understand that you are fair and will see that justice is accorded. And lastly is the Matt and Jeff, where there is the use of two interrogator. One is hostile and the other one is sympathetic. That's all, and thank you.